All right, hello, this is Mr. Buss, and we're going to talk about running Lab 16 Wind Power. This is the very last lab that you'll be doing for Earth Science. The purpose of this lab varies depending on the type of investigation you're going to run. So for the purpose, basically, you're going to be looking at what your options might be for what you're going to investigate with the prop style. But to set up the experiment, you're going to need a fan. Helps to have a protractor to double check the pitch of the blades. You need the turbine. Basically, there's a little motor in here, and then you'll need a red prop, and then depending on what experiment you're going to run, you're going to use other props as well. And then the wiring is basically identical to what you wired for Lab 15, where you're going to go from, this is the source, so from the source to the source on the energy sensor, so red to red, black to black. And then you're going to connect the variable load for the resistance, and again, red to red, black to black, to the load on the energy sensor there. All right, and then plug your connectors into the LabQuest device, and then you should be set to run it. And you know, you're going to connect your iPad to this as well, and basically probably just be doing a live recording, or a live view of what the values are here. Might want to get some screenshots on that as well. So once you're ready to start, go ahead and turn the fan on. I'm going to turn it on high just to get the most spin as possible and generate the most power as possible. This may or may not even start once you get the fan on. Make sure it's angled at it, okay? But if it doesn't start, if you give it a kick start, then it seems to take off pretty well. If it's really moving along, the light might even ignite in the back there. If it spins too much out of sync there, out of direction, you could stop and you could put a little tape on here to keep it steady and not spinning around. All right, and then for the first part, you're going to be everyone's been doing this. You're going to be checking out the resistance. All right, and so you're going to be basically setting the resistance on here to what it says on your data on your write-up. 10, 20, 30, I can't remember exactly, not looking at it, but you're going to be setting your resistance, moving this, and double checking on here. So turning it to, if you're starting at 10, turn the resistance to the left until the resistance on here says what you need it to. And then you're just going to record your live values for current, potential, which is volts, and power, which is milliwatts. If you are if you're standing here, it's going to affect how much wind is actually able to move past the prop here. So just make sure that you're not standing directly behind the turbine. All right, I'm just going to note this. It was interesting to me as I did this experiment that when I started it, the resistance just was randomly somewhere in the middle, and my fan was spinning pretty good. The light was on. As I turned the resistance down to 10 to start doing the data collection, I noticed that the light went off and the blade actually started spinning slower. All right, so you might notice that as well as you do the experiment, that as you change the resistance, you might have to wait a little bit for the prop to get to the right speed in order to start taking data collection. So there will be an effect of resistance, how much resistance you have, and then how slow or fast that prop spins. And again, as you change that, that's going to change how fast it spins. So just that you're aware that's going to happen. All right, once you've charted out the various current, potential, and power values as the resistance changed, you can remove the red prop style. All right, and then depending on what your experiment is going to be, so like for instance, if you're just going to determine the effect pitch has, you might find that I have already some different props with pitch. So this is pitch of 70 degrees, this is pitch of 30 degrees, 10 degrees, 50 degrees, and so on. So you're going to be able to find probably some pre-made props that are set to go, and it should say on the blade again, pitch 70. So this is for the pitch experiment, what that is. For instance, if we're doing, maybe you're doing the blade length, you might want to find the different props that are set up for blade length. Like this is blade length 6 inches, so it gives you the area also. And the pitch is set on this one for 15 because the pitch is going to be constant for all of them if you're testing blade length, because obviously that's the thing you're testing, that's your variable. Blade length 4, and so on. So then as you go, you're just going to be putting the props on. You're going to have the resistance set to what you determined was the optimal resistance. That was the purpose of the first part, determine what the optimal resistance is and set it at that. And then you're going to be running this. You don't have to run it on high speed, quite honestly, for a lot of these props. You can keep it on high speed, but just keep it on the same, whatever it is, and you can back it up a little bit too if you want to. But just keep it the same as you do your test. There's no exact distance that I'm going to tell you that's right for this, as long as you keep it constant. All right, so write down your values as you go, take pictures of things as you go, to record just kind of what happened, record your data as you go, and let us know if you have any questions. But that's pretty much it. So you're just investigating some various things on wind turbines, which is pretty easy to do once you get everything set up and going.